Just a couple of the conversations over the break there. Surprisingly, people asked about the price of Xline. So Xline is on a subscription basis. For somebody brand new coming in off the street, it's €55 per month per user. It's on a subscription basis, so you no longer have a support fee. You have a license and a support fee. But obviously, we'll be talking to customers individually to see many users they have, what modules they have, etc. So it'll just take a bit of working out individually with pricing on that, and there will be discounts for existing V-Line users and that. So it's worth looking at. Like part of the option, there was one, I think about a 12-user site talking to Justin there. A 12-user site migration to something like Intact IQ could be in the region of 50, 60, 70,000 and a 6-month project. So it's to try and come up with an option that's in the middle on that. The Access apps they're separate altogether. It's a separate product, and they're per month per user. And depending on the number of users on that, if it's a single user, it's €25 per month per user on the app. But obviously, if you have multiples of lorry drivers or sales reps or whatever. But look, they're individual conversations to have with the resellers or with ourselves. So okay, so back to base. So I'm up next, and I volunteered just to talk about this part. So the next piece, and I've had a couple of questions, is people talking about their web strategies and what they're doing on those fronts. And it's a very important line. I know there's been so many conversations around that, and it seems like a very next logical step for people. But over the last, I suppose, websites are on the go maybe 10, 12 years. And I've watched a huge number of companies go on that journey. And if for roundy figures, if I said I saw 100 of our customers go on their web journey, I've probably seen 10 do it really well. Yeah, 10 that could tick the box and go, we nailed our websites. We've companies that started off getting their websites up and running, and we have customers now who are turning 3 million, 4 million a year in their web business. But they've invested massive resources. They don't do it at half time in the Champions League with the child sitting on their knee, updating stock items and that. That's not how the real web works. These people have teams of web people. It's like opening up a new branch in your business, and you know the emphasis and work that's done in opening up a second branch. But the important piece that we look at from a technology perspective is how that connects back to your Intact system. In a lot of cases, you can set up your first dip your toe in the e-commerce market can be totally disconnected from Intact. You don't know, you can go online, you could probably download Shopify, $50 per month, get up and running, put up 20 products up there, promote it on your Facebook channel, see what sales come in. That's perfectly okay. You don't have to go to the most technically challenging solution in the first dip your toe in it. So I just want to talk about the different options that are available on it. So we've come up with Intact Cliqx. Intact Cliqx is the name of the suite of products that we have that allows you to connect your Xline system to the internet and to the websites. And there are 4 distinct options here. So I was going to say if you take nothing else out of the morning, but I want you to listen to all the other wonderful stuff that's going on. But out of my piece, if you understand this little bit, then you'll be fine. So the first piece there, we have an offering ourselves that's based around Nop Commerce. Nop Commerce is an open platform web commerce tool, and we've written a full tight integration between that and Xline and IQ. It's very much, we're handing ownership over to yourselves. You've got the internal talent in your organization to drive the journey yourselves, and it's got lots of options in there. You need to become part of the NOP online community, understand what you can do, and drive your own business forward. That could be the option for you. Now, you're going to have longer discussions than this to identify which is the right option for you. We've got Cliqx for Magento. There are 1,001 Magento developers in Ireland who synchronize your websites, and to synchronize those back with your business, you need to have stock information going up and down. If you're given marks out of 10 on those 2 products for Nop Commerce for business to business, so you want your business customer coming online getting his real-time pricing, we'd probably give Nop Commerce 8 or 9 out of 10 for that. not commerce as a business to consumer where you're looking to attract Joe Public, probably 3 or 4 out of 10. So you tend not to find ones that do both equally well. Magento would get 9 out of 10 for business to commerce. So if you're looking to put your suite of products up to Joe Public and attract them to sell it for you, something like a Magento interface, and if you arrive with us with a Magento developer, they can have Cliqx for Magento and it'll do that interaction. And my colleague Philip is going to show some of the base stuff, because I know there are some web developers, Magento developers here. He's going to go through some of that. The third option, and they can probably be ranked very highly for B2B and B2C, is our partner Afix, and they're here today, and they have a huge number of those. They've got a very well established solution that hooks into Intact. They've invested lots of time, lots of energy, made all the mistakes, learned from them, and come back again. Something that new web developers coming to us haven't necessarily done, but Afix have a suite of solutions that link tightly into Intact and do offer business to business and business to commerce equally well on their site. And they offer a real hand-holding service. They have some templated solutions, but they're a really good way to go if you need somebody to bring you on that digital journey, and a really good option there. If you're using one of the other 10,790 offerings that are on the internet, Shopify, WooCommerce, OpenCart, etc., we've got our Cliqx API. So in other words, that's our API. So if you come to us and say, I want to connect my WooCommerce, I had a conversation from somebody else with a stock system there, that's where you go via the API, which talks to the system. We can't or won't be trying to keep up with every one of those that might, because the investment for us to make, say, a Magento integration or an OpCommerce, like we've invested tens of thousands of euros in creating the integrations tightly into those other systems. If you appear at the door and you say, I want to integrate with WooCommerce, well, that's going to cost us tens of thousands of euros. So if your web guy can do it, says, there's our API, go ahead, knock yourself out. On those. So that's how we respond to all the different options out there. So we've our own commerce piece. You have the very popular Magento. We've got our web partners, Afix. And then for everything else, we've got our Cliqx API. So just looking at some of our commerce piece here. So commerce comes with a whole host of templated websites. You can Google it online, have a look at the different templates. And we focused in on integrating in with very much. This is kind of plug and play at the point. You have to get used to hearing the word no. So if you're saying, oh, can I have that piece over there and that piece over there? No. So that's how you balance the amount you're going to invest and the amount of what you get online. These are templated solutions with predefined functionality, an enormous amount of configuration options, hugely powerful. But you have to go on that journey yourself with it. I don't mean to be negative about this, but you don't get for $5,000 a year what somebody that's investing $100,000 a year in their web platforms. The guy that invests $100,000 a year is probably getting better value than the guy that's investing a couple of grand in their web strategy and that. So it's got the full product management tools there. You get all your images, you get your multiple images, your stock levels, some really cool stuff that you expect to see in a website. And OpCommerce offers continuous new features that can be embraced on that. There's a full admin panel in the background that you'd have to learn yourself to go on to drive this. And if you're techie or you've got a new generation, you've got a new employee who comes in, one of the millennials that come in, they latch onto this stuff and they understand this stuff much better than young people like me and the likes of us get it. But the amount of power you have within the admin panel for the cost of this is absolutely enormous. You also have, you can look into the stock statistics setup, special offers. There's a whole range of functionality in there, and you just drill into that until you find the piece that you need. You can set up, as I said, the multiple images, the long description, the short description. It's not unusual to spend about a half an hour per product to get it properly online. So if you just think of that and think of, geez, we've got 7,500 SKUs on our system. We want to get them online. Work out the maths yourself. To write a short description, a long description, get the proper images, get them tagged right, all the URLs, it's a huge investment in time. As I say, the likes of the Afix guys could guide you through that. But there's huge options there with our NOP Commerce solution and that. One of the really cool bits around the NOP Commerce on the B2B side is you've got these whole range of options that relate to your customer. So it's connected back to your customer ledger card. So you may want to give your customers access to be able to log into their portal, view invoices, put on repeat orders, etc., etc. It's connected right back to getting their real price. So when customer A keys in product X, then it fetches that price live from their server system and keys it back in. You can also offer the opportunity to reprint the invoices as they come out of your system. So as they got their original, so it fetches back the print from there. Some of this is technically very challenging to do, but we've managed to nail it down. It's not just a web view of the invoice, it's actually as the invoice appeared out of your system. So just in terms of our options, up on the Cloud Services menu, you will see the NOP Commerce piece. It's alongside the Afix piece, and you get different settings in there that connect the product. You can have multiple stores feeding into that, so you have all sorts of options on that. There's much longer discussions to be had on this. I'm happy to have those discussions with people. Paul and David are over here at the Cliqx stand. They're part of our in-house team on that. So that's our NOP Commerce offering. As I say, we've Afix here today, but the next piece Philip is going to come up and do is just talk about the Intact Cliqx for the Magento piece, just to show how that works. So I hope you found that a little bit informative. As I say, I'm available through the rest of the day for questions. So I'll hand over to you, Philip, and you can take it from there.